HarperCollins presents The Girl with the Silver Bangle by Linda Finlay, read by Charlie Sanderson. To my family, silver stars shining brightly in the bangle of life. Chapter 1. 1910, Camberwell, London. Although 16-year-old Daisy Tucker had worked at the fun factory in Camberwell for nearly a year, watching the scene builders assembling sets in the yard and the props being loaded into carts ready to be transported to the hippodrome still filled her with excitement. The governor, Fred Carno, a successful theatre promoter, had directed the terrace of 5 houses in Vaughan Road be knocked through, affording plenty of indoor and outside space for performers to practice, staging and costumes created and paraphernalia stored. Now he employed many local people and offered opportunities for advancement. Although Daisy had started off washing and ironing the costumes, she had a dream and was working hard to achieve it. She'd already been promoted to one of the runners for the overseers, but her passion was drawing and painting, her ambition to work with the artists. Soon there would be a vacancy coming up in their studio, and she was determined to secure the position, even if it meant competing with her fellow runner and arch-rival, Arnie Bragg. With his pointed face and dark hooded eyes, he reminded Daisy of a rat, pushing his nose into everything and telling anyone who'd listen how good he was. Daisy, meanwhile, had decided to take a more direct approach, and as soon as she'd seen the scenery artists were under pressure to meet their deadline, she'd offered to help prepare their backdrops. Now, having found a corner out of the way, she began thinly spreading primer over the large canvas, wrinkling her nose at the pungent smell of ammonia as she carefully ensured it went right to the edges. As she worked, her imagination ran wild. She could picture the scene she'd create as clear as the sunny day, except hers would be nocturnal, a sliver of silver moon emerging from the midnight sky, shooting stars with spangles winking to the audience from the stage, and, in the bottom right-hand corner, her own trademark, a tiny white daisy. Absorbed in her task, she didn't notice the sky darkening or the scene builders hastily pushing their sets back into their workshop until a big fat raindrop landed on her painting. "Bloomin' August weather," she muttered, jumping to her feet. 1 minute there wasn't a cloud to be seen. The next, the heavens opened. "Look sharp, Daisy, and get that out of the wet straight away, or it'll be your backside the governor'll have for his backdrop," Stan, the overseer, ordered, appearing at her side and snatching the brush from her hand. Impatiently, he gestured to the props piled inside the double doors. "And when you've done that, you can get them custard pies loaded onto the carts." "Yes, sir," Daisy replied, struggling under the weight of the enormous canvas. "Oh, dear," Arnie smirked, scrutinizing the board hopefully as he passed Daisy in the corridor. "Didn't get it wet, did ya?" "No, thank heavens," Daisy replied. "Shame," he muttered, transferring the furs and furbelows he was carrying from one arm to the other. "Anyhow, you're a runner and should be helping me with this lot, not sucking up to them artists. And don't think you've a chance of getting that job in the studio. That's mine." "Been offered it then, have you?" Daisy asked, eyeing him speculatively. "I will be," he said, puffing out his chest importantly. "I wouldn't be so sure about that," she told him. "Well, they're not going to offer it to you. Everyone knows girls get married and have babies." "Haven't you heard the world's changing, Arnold Bragg?" she retorted. "And in case you hadn't noticed, some of the artists here are female." Refusing to let him get under her skin, she hefted the canvas higher and continued on her way. Despite what Arnie said, she intended getting that position. Already the artists were asking for her as they knew she would do a thorough job. Her father had impressed upon her that a task, however menial, was worth doing properly or not at all, and she took great pride in her work. Arnie, by contrast, was slapdash, hurrying through his tasks so he could sneak outside for a smoke, for this was not allowed on the premises.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?